So, DeCascio, can you please accept my request to join the live? Hey, Simona.
We got to get stronger.
Oh, there y'all go. Hey, what's up, family? How y'all doing? Hey.
We'll try.
Can you turn it around a little bit? Because y'all upside down.
We're upside down? Upside down.
Oh, that's perfect. Go back. Right there. Yeah, that works. What's up, Marijuana Matters? Hey, fam, I missed you. Hey, happy COVID-19. But I'll let you guys do your intro, and then I'm gonna sit back and wait to take over.
Okay. So I'm Marc, I'm Tay. No, I'm Marc. How you guys doing? You know what we do. Today we have a special guest taking over Marijuana Matters about accounts. We are here at Studio Khadijah Tribble. We have we called that she took a job at Curly a couple weeks ago. Trying to say what she has. Yeah, trying to say what she get the money. And it seems that
ain't about the money.
she changed. I tell you. But today we have a couple giveaways that we're doing. You know, we have a couple guests coming throughout the live. Yeah, so we have which wellness also that's coming through. We want to talk about what they sell. We're going to talk about COVID-19 and the relief funds.
Yeah.
They're definitely coming in here. They're going to talk to us as well.
Hey, Tierra. Hey, Courtney.
Around 9 o'clock, we're going to take back over after she finishes her segment. And we're going to have a discussion and recap of everything. And we're also about to giveaways as well, because we'll be the ones to be picking the giveaways. So, stay tuned. Watch the entire video. Watch the entire live. It's going to be big. I know for a fact it is.
Okay. All right. Is it my turn or am I up?
Yeah. No, that's all you.
Well, I want you guys to get off here. I just want to take this moment to say thank you guys for your outreach efforts and making sure that we still crush Wednesdays. And I'm excited that you guys are a part of the team, and I'm looking forward to all the work that you guys will do to help elevate the conversation around marijuana and engage our community because it's so needed. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock. All right. Peace out. Did he just say he was going to go smoke? Anyway, good evening, good people. I am so happy to be back with my day ones. My Marijuana Matters family. Is so good to see you guys. Please make sure that you post any comments or questions in the comment section. But I have a couple of things that I have to talk about. One, I just gave a shout out to our outreach team. But, I just also want to give a real big shout out to one of our newest members of the Marijuana Matters tribe, Miss Simona James, who is kicking it with our social media and our digital assets. We thank you for giving us this professional edge and making sure we stay current and relevant. You are the bomb. So thank you so much. So as Tay and Marcus mentioned, last month I stepped away from day-to-day operations of Marijuana Matters and took a job with Cureleaf, where I am working on corporate social responsibility, which dovetails nicely with the work that I've been doing with Marijuana Matters, because so much of this work is around how we make sure there's a connection between the community, government, and the industry. And now I get to do that from the industry side and still get to connect with you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to jump right into it. Let me see if I can get my... Okay, 8:04. So we're like hitting. We have 6 or 7 special guests tonight who are going to be a part of our giveaways. If you haven't heard, we're giving away juice sets from Reset Wellness, We have some a T-shirt, hat, and papers from Roland Bouquet. We also have some stuff from Green Panther Chef Jasmine. I'm excited about the Elio products out of the Hollinsworth Company. So we have Joy that's coming on. And so, yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on. So make sure that you stay tuned. But this is how you can win the giveaway. The way that you win the giveaway is, one, you have to make a comment. You have to either, let me know I'm funny, or the information that I'm giving you is something that you're interested in. So you have to make a comment. And then you have to, hold on. I have to write my nose down. That's what happens when you start drinking during the live. But, hey, it's tough out here. It's been a rough time. So in order to get the giveaways, you have to comment, follow, and tag. And Marcus and Tay are logged into the live, so they are actually going to be selecting the giveaway recipient every segment. And we have 6 different segments. So you have 6 different chances to win some kick-ass prizes. We're also giving away a Marijuana Matters mega gift pack, which includes a little bit of cannabis, maybe accessories. Yeah, some nice little things in the gift bag. So make sure. Hey, Aja, how are you? Thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see you. So the gift bag from Marijuana Matters includes a Marijuana Matters t-shirt, a notepad. It includes our pre-roll stash boxes. So it's some real cute stuff in there for you. And we're also giving away a $100 gift certificate toward one of our cannabis vendors out of the DMV. But we're not going to announce that till later on because we want you guys to stick around. So one of the first things that I'm excited about, let me see, is Reset Wellness on. Let me make sure. Let's see. I want to get people lined up. Hey, Brian. I don't see Reset Wellness yet, but they're first up. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk a little bit about why we decided to Marijuana Matters decided that we wanted to do this kind of Weed Crush Wednesday. We understand that even though the community has been deemed essential, it is only essential that we show up for work, but it's not essential that we actually take part in the relief funds. And so Courtney's going to be coming on from Marijuana Matters to talk a little bit about the policy conversation around that. 5 minutes is not going to ruin your high. So if you want to roll up, take a gummy, go ahead and do that. Chill out with us. We're just going to have a vibe for an hour, okay? Oh, thank you so much for giving me permission to drink my wine. Thank you. So while we wait for them to come in, I might switch it up a little bit because I believe in staying on time. You want to win the giveaway? Oh, you going to win. It's some nice stuff. And I'm really excited about the Marijuana Matters mega pack at the end. That includes some really good stuff. But the reason we wanted to do this kind of live engagement was it was an opportunity for us to put our money where our mouth is. Marijuana Matters, we are in 3 lanes: education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship. And so tonight you're going to get a little taste of our advocacy work around making sure essential cannabis companies can take part in the relief fund that's offered by Small Business Administration. And you're also going to get some education about the various ways in which folks can get information about how to use cannabis and CBD in their daily regimen, whether you're cooking with it with Jasmine or whether you're using the relief bar with Reset Wellness. And our entrepreneur piece that we are engaging in is how can we help minority-owned cannabis businesses continue to thrive? And so we decided that we were going to try to connect the customer base with the actual entrepreneur by purchasing products from the entrepreneur. We didn't ask anybody to come on to give us anything for free. What we decided was these companies are worth our dollars, and so we're going to purchase from them, let them talk to you about their products and their services, and then we're going to give them away because we believe in these entrepreneurs. So that's what this night is about. It's about community. It's about making sure that we figure out, even in small ways, that we can take care of each other. I am watching my time. And so we actually got through that really quick. So that's what this is all about. And if Courtney is on and she wouldn't mind jumping on, she's probably going to kill me if she jumps on too quick. Yeah, we're just going to keep it and talk through. What are the, because I got 5 more minutes before I bring Tamika and Jason on from Reset Wellness. What are some of the ways in which you guys are handling COVID-19? I'd love for you to respond in the post. The ways that I'm handling COVID-19 is eating, working 12-hour shifts, days, and more eating. I've been trying to exercise. I've been exercising every single day. It just doesn't seem like the exercise is matching up with the amount drinking. Yeah, I haven't been drinking as much, but the exercise isn't matching up with the intake of the calories because I'm sitting or standing at my computer for 10 to 12 hours. I did want to engage folks and try to have some feedback on a few questions that have come up as a result of COVID-19 for me. Like, how many times do you get to wear those sweatpants? Like, is it a 2-day cutoff or is it a 3-day cutoff? And, has anyone eating, cooking, sleeping? I hear you. I know, just all the things that we love to do, but just really, really not good for us. What are you reading? I'd love to hear. Put some stuff in the comment section and let us know what things you're reading. Any good essays? I don't know if I could commit to a whole book right now, but essays and some blog posts would be great. Oh, there we go with Reset Wellness. So get ready. I'm getting ready to connect you guys, Jason and Tamika. But, so how many days can I wear my sweatpants back to back? And 3, the other thing I'm interested in, is there anybody who has a in with folks who make those big Leon Talley type caftans? Because that's about the only thing I'm going to be able to fit when COVID-19 is over, because my face is all plump. Oh, Tennessee coats. I actually have that up in the hotel room right now. I haven't cracked it open one time. Well, thank you guys for engaging in that activity with me. We're going to bring on Jason and Tamika to talk to us about Reset Wellness. All right, give me a sec. Okay, while they're coming in. So remember this. So in order to be a part of the raffle, it is comment, make sure you follow, and tag someone, okay? So this is a segment, and in this segment, we're talking to Jason, Tamika. Y'all upside down, baby. Thank you, y'all. Yes. Hey, family.
Hey,
Happy belated birthday.
thank you, thank you.
Liking that little mermaid little girl.
I know I need to curl my hair tonight and let it set for a couple days.
I hear you. Hey, Jason, how you doing, man?
All is well. Blessed to be.
Good. Kids good? Everybody all right?
Hopefully they'll stay upstairs during all of this. But
Look,
13.
I have been on a conference call with dogs barking and jumping on their owners, kids hollering in the background, cussing in the background. Hey, it's a new day. It's a new day.
We'll bring as much professionalism as the kids will allow,
Right. It's all real. So we're going to jump right into it. So one of the things, so of course I know you guys, and I'm always down to support and want to make sure that Marijuana Matters is always in your corner. But I would love for the folks who don't know about Jason and Tamika, tell us a little bit about Reset Wellness, where it comes from, and about your passion as a husband and wife duo team to launch this cannabis company.
Well, Reset Wellness, I would say, is a culmination of everything that I do and everything that Tamika does. It's all together, wrapped up in one. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I washed my first car and raked my first leaves.
Right.
Bro, I've always been interested in trying to have my own economics, be able to have my own money, my own income. But in short, Reset Wellness is a brand that's dedicated to educating. Seniors actually is our focal point, 50 and up, but we do want to educate everyone about the CBD. So we're a CBD wellness company. We do education, and we also have products.
Okay.
As well. So that's the short version. I'm sure Tamika's version is a little.
We don't have time for my version.
We have 4 or 5 minutes, and while I want to remind people that Marcus and Tay are actually monitoring our comment section. So make sure that you follow us. Make sure you comment during the segment, and make sure you tag a friend so that you can get. Do you have handy those nice little reset juices? So let me tell you, when I took these juices for the first time, I got my life in a lot of different ways. And this hemp juice and these pain bars are really, really legit. Personally, I can attest to that. But so many people are talking about these products. So tell folks about the products and how they can actually reach out to you guys and learn more about how to support your work. And let us know.
So we are located in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. All of our products are handmade, so the juices are made from scratch. There are no store-bought juices that are just, that cannabis oil is being dumped into. We actually handcraft every flavor that we offer, and we also make our own topicals. So we're not working with any manufacturers. We sat down, we did the research. We tested batch after batch after batch for about 4 months before we got it right. So it really just started organically with the products. We started making them just really for ourselves. I was introduced to CBD because of an injury, and my husband gave me someone else's pain balm that was infused, and had to leave the country. So I tried a couple others, and they just did not work. So me and a friend decided to hop in the kitchen and figure it out. So
I kept telling her it ain't rocket science. It ain't
so we had, friends and family. It just started kind of as, we need to educate, now that I know it works and I tried it for myself. Everybody needs to know, why don't we know about cannabis and its medicinal benefit for us.
Right.
So from there, one friend told a friend, one family member told a family member. Next thing we know, we had a cannabis brand on our hands.
Right.
It was built out of necessity.
Yeah.
Nigga said she has had surgery and was getting cortisone. These needles, these long needles put in her knees, and the stuff wasn't even working. I remember leaving the doctor's office and her saying, like, it was almost that we didn't even go in,
Right.
So everything that, all the products that we have were made out of necessity.
Okay.
Nothing on the market was working, so we just started doing our own research with the beverage and with the topical.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I find so interesting is that, like, you have clients all over the country, and you have clients actually all over the world. I know one client in Egypt who loves your bar.
And we
nowhere we won't go.
Always telling people, we actually probably give away just as much product as we sell, because we are patient focused first, and that's one of the reasons why we decided, even as much as we're growing, to keep the production of our products in house for now, just because we know, sometimes you need a little stronger, sometimes you need a little weaker, sometimes you need a blend of some other kind of foods up in there. to do that for our clients, we are really able to give personalized recommendations. We now have a cannabis nurse on staff, so we don't have the medical background, but
Right.
shout out, shout out to Cannabis Nursing Solutions with Ashley. She is a part of the team. So when we have clients that have deeper medical questions, we're able to refer them to a medical professional with a whole bunch of runaround. And it is just, she's been a blessing to the team. And the rapid growth is just beyond our wildest dreams. You know, people are now reaching out to us and asking us how they can get into the cannabis industry and how can I use my skills to better the industry or see, you know, because I'm always definitely, you know, the framework of our business is around social justice,
Right.
and social. Jason had run-ins with the law due to marijuana. My father was incarcerated in and out of jail my whole entire life, pretty much because of marijuana. So us being able to grow our small business so rapidly and offer opportunity to other friends and other family members who have been impacted on the war on drugs is extremely important to us. So it's not just about, oh, we're going to get a cannabis and then make some money. Because no, not rich. You know, it's not a quick get rich quick scheme.
If you're in it for the money, you might as well
hang it up right now.
It is a passion. Let me ask you this, because one of the things I wanted to do is make, you know, these quick opportunities to have this discussion. But I'm hopeful that with Weed Crush Wednesdays in our outreach team, that we'll be able to have longer segments. Would you and Jason be willing to come back on to have a longer segment, maybe 20 or 30 minutes?
We have so much to share.
Yeah, and we really want to have a chance to toot the horn for Marijuana Matters, to really let people know how impactful marijuana is, what it's like to be associated with Marijuana Matters. We really want to have a chance to play that up because things are happening. You know, this is only the beginning. So you can have us back as much as you like, for as long as you like.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much. And if you could show people the juices again, Marcus and Tay we're giving away 2 sets of 3 juices. So you guys make sure that you are commenting, that you tag, and that you follow, because we're going to give away 2 packs of Reset juices. And I'm calling for my order. Thank you guys so much.
So people can just hit us up on Instagram. Our website is being revamped. We're actually in a rebranding phase. We cannot wait to officially launch. That's how fast we've grown. We soft launched last June and have not even been able to officially launch. So we're planning for that.
Oh, you launched, baby.
Yeah.
You got customers in another country. You launched.
Khadijah, thank you again. What you've done for us, the mentorship alone, the connections alone, and you know what you're doing with Marijuana Matters. It's just forever humble, forever thankful, because you didn't have to do what you did.
Well, let me just say this: you guys have paid it forward. I'm gonna pay it forward, and that's how we build, right? It's cooperative economics for us, right? Each one. All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Make sure you follow at Reset Wellness, or is it at Reset Wellness DC
_DC? So
okay.
Wellness _DC.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, get them juices. So you guys met Jason and Tamika. I absolutely love this couple, this duo, because they are committed to cannabis social justice work, and they are committed to making sure that they build a company that is rooted in connecting community. And so Reset Wellness is thebomb.com. And if you are not familiar with them, make sure that you go get their juices. Of course, people who commented, tagged, commented, tagged, and follow Marijuana Matters DC, you're going to be entered into a drawing. And so Marcus and Tay are going to come on at 9 o'clock and let you guys know which two people actually got the juice set from Reset Wellness. Thank you, Jason and Tamika. We appreciate you guys so much. All right. So it's 8:25. And so Jason and Tamika run Reset Wellness DC. And Reset Wellness, which is a company, they have customers all over the country, and they have companies all over the world. And so, but one of the things that's interesting about COVID-19 is that for individuals who are connected to the cannabis industry, they may or may not be eligible to participate in some of the relief fund, right? And so I found it interesting that we essential as shit, right? We essential everywhere. We got essential designation, but we ain't essential when it comes to getting those dollars to support our companies. And so I just found it quite alarming that folks will continue to stigmatize and discriminate. Hey, Courtney, discriminate, girl. You. I should be my eyebrows. To discriminate against cannabis companies. And so if you guys have not met the fabulous Courtney Davis, who works as Marijuana Matters Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations, then let me introduce you. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
This is my first live, so this is exciting. And I also want to thank all of our supporters. I started about a month ago, and everyone has given me such a warm welcome. And, I'm excited to be able to continue to engage in cannabis issues with a specific lens on the communities that have been disenfranchised by the criminalization of marijuana. So I'm excited to be joining the team and meeting everyone. And excited to talk about some of the things that we've been working on. I know COVID-19 is on everyone's minds right now. So yeah, I also am, drinking with you. So
yeah, hey, cheers. So thank you for that. And we have about 3 or 4 minutes, but really quickly, I wanted to, if you could, talk to folks about the COVID-19 response and how cannabis companies, particularly minority-owned ones, are banding together kind of to try to figure out if we can move the needle on making sure that those dollars can actually support companies that are cannabis focused and the ones that support it. Because my understanding is SBA said not only are plant touching cannabis companies not eligible for money, but the ones who service them, like accountants and lawyers and HR folks, also can't get no money.
That's true. We all know how small businesses have been impacted by the mandatory quarantines due to COVID-19. Cannabis is no different to the challenges that those industries have been facing. And so, Congress was quick to act, passing the CARES Act, which kind of provided loan programs to small businesses to encourage them to keep their staff on, and also to provide money for them as they deal with less customers and all of the things that have happened. And so not only does the CARES Act exclude cannabis companies, but those minority businesses it hits them even harder because of the historic disparities in access to capital. Just all of those things that social equity applicants have to deal with, or operators have to deal with. So shout out to Lanice at the Hood Incubator out there in the Bay Area. She's lovely, and she convened a group of stakeholders to come together and ask Congress to not only include cannabis operators in the next batch of relief, or because all the money has run out already, but we've asked them to include cannabis industries And then also, social equity operators by design sometimes have felony convictions. They live in communities that have been hit hardest, and so SBA doesn't allow anyone with a felony to even participate in this program. So that's another layer that those of us that are focused on the social equity aspect have to deal with.
Yeah, thank you for that, because I hadn't even thought about kind of the felony conviction related to how we are further, disenfranchised and marginalized. Really quickly, we're going to bring on a Different Leaf magazine in a second, but can you let folks know where they can go find out about the petition, and if they're so inclined to be able to support the initiative to get more folks focused on COVID-19 relief funds to cannabis businesses?
Yes, I believe the link is going to be in the Marijuana Matters DC bio.
Yeah.
We have a change.org petition. We're trying to get 1,000 signatures. We're at about 750, so I know that we can get there in the next couple of days. Activating our base to really, reach out to your members of Congress, reach out to your local elected officials, and let them know how you, what you think about the relief programs that, Congress is creating right now. So, it's really, a lot of people don't realize how strong, with our united voices we could be. And so if you guys have an opportunity, please sign the petition, reach out to your member of Congress if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be awesome.
Thank you so much, Courtney. I appreciate you joining us live tonight. And I just want to say how wonderful it is to have someone with your caliber, your expertise, and your passion for this, working on behalf of Marijuana Matters and the constituency that we serve. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. Yes. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. So for those folks who are just joining us, each segment we are giving away a giveaway. We're giving away some stuff, right? Look, somebody go to SF Scott 4 and tell him to log on to Marijuana Matters DC to get the live. I don't know what he's doing, but he keep messaging me. But this is, we are giving away items on every segment. And in order to be eligible for the giveaways, you have to do three things. One, you have to give a comment, so be engaged in the conversation. You have to tag someone, and you have to make sure you follow Marijuana Matters DC. We have our outreach team that is watching and monitoring this live and engaging. We already gave away Reset Wellness items, and the next thing that we're giving away is a subscription to Different Leaf. And you guys, this is a hot ass magazine. When I first saw it, I was blown away by the visual. So I am excited to be able to talk. This is the first time I'm having a conversation with this group, but I love what they're doing, and they allow for a conversation around social equity in their magazine. So hold on while I engage them. Hold on. There we go. There we go. There we go. They're only 3 minutes behind. Cooking with gas. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? A different thing. Thank you so much. So tell the people, for one, can you show one of the magazines? Because I want people to see how hot I think that
Thanks.
the visuals are nice.
Well, first off, thanks for having me on. Glad to be here, and glad to hear some new stories. I'm always on the lookout for good stories. So
yeah, follow Reset Wellness. They are the bomb. You guys.
I like their story already. So my name's Michael. I'm the publisher of Different Leaf magazine. We're based up in Massachusetts. I'm in Western Mass. I've grown my quarantine beard, and I'm not usually this furry. But we started publishing last summer, and we cover cannabis in Massachusetts right now to start. But I do have some designs on going national at some point. But figured living and working and being here in Massachusetts, I sort of understand the state. So just to show you a couple covers, this is our fall issue. That was all about everything edible. So we did some really great shoots. You know, getting all the good edibles.
Yeah.
And then And then our winter issue was medical.
Love it.
And we work with really great photographers and illustrators. And we also try to tell stories of entrepreneurs in the space.
Right.
And people who are working here in Massachusetts. And we work with local photographers and illustrators and writers to create our look, which is really, really important.
Right. So, and this is a great segue to talk about. So many people are fascinated by cannabis and selling marijuana, growing marijuana, and I get it. It's all hot. It's all sexy. But to think that the only way to play in the cannabis space is through marijuana plant touching, there are so many ways to get engaged. And you just talked about how photographers and graphic designers, writers can find their way in cannabis. Can you speak a little bit to how you came to create a different leaf and why it's important that, well, not necessarily why it's important, about how you plan to include social justice or social equity as a part of the conversation in your magazine?
Sure. Kind of a happy accident, I suppose, like a lot of good things in life are happy accidents. I used to publish an arts magazine, an arts and culture magazine that covered New England, and that was winding down. And I worked with a really great, talented team of people, and I wanted to do something so I could keep working with them. And I happened to run into a friend who was a cultivator, and we had a long Massachusetts. And I had voted for it. I've been a user, a smoker since college. I'm just not very good at it. Like I always tell everybody, like I'm no connoisseur of strains, or I'm not a grower, but I do appreciate it. And I have discovered that it helps me with sleeping. And so I am sort of a adult use straddling medical, because that's the way I use it. So he and I had a really great conversation, and I had voted for legalization in Massachusetts, but didn't realize the depth of the law in Massachusetts. One of the first things he mentioned to me was cafes, and I was floored with the idea that we might have cafes in Massachusetts and have social consumption venues. And then he talked to me about the social justice part of the law. And I like to think that I'm like a high information voter, but that part totally got by me as somebody who was voting for this. And we had a great conversation. And then about 6 hours later, I was driving home trying to think of like what to do now that my one magazine was winding down. And all of a sudden I thought about cannabis.
Right.
And I drove to Barnes and Noble, and I drove to every newsstand in Western Massachusetts and bought everything I could find. And there are a million business-to-business magazines in the space.
Right.
There are some magazines that are really aimed at a younger audience. And then there's like the legacy titles, the titles that have been around for a long time, that sort of presume a level of knowledge about cannabis that I think a lot of people don't have. And I was sort of thinking about my own personal experience, because magazines are often kind of the ego of the person who comes up with them. And, I just recently turned 50.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I just recently turned 50, and I didn't know a lot about cannabis, but I knew that there were a lot of benefits there. And I thought that there must be others like me out there. So, I've been a user. I've been using cannabis for 30 years in my life, mostly recreationally, but didn't know a lot about it. And when you walk through the doors of a legal dispensary, there are hundreds of products there, and it can be daunting. It can be scary, and it actually can keep some people, I think, from walking through the door to take advantage of something that may actually benefit their life. So my goal was to create a magazine to help explain cannabis to new people and to people coming back to it maybe for the first time in a long time. And so my target really was an older audience.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, because I was going to say the older audience are the fastest growing population of folks who are buying cannabis. folks who have used cannabis before or maybe just in small amounts who are now re-engaging with cannabis. I'm focused on time, and I want to give you an opportunity to tell people about where they can actually get the magazine. I love the fact that you featured Marion and her research network in your last magazine. I did read it, and great. That I think that I love the fact that you take on social equity in a creative, unique way. So how can people expect in the future that you'll keep uplift and keep social equity as a part of the conversation with your audience and your readers?
Absolutely. I think that the sort of the fastest way to say that is that, you know, for the new person to cannabis who can walk into a dispensary and buy an edible or buy flower, who may not know the history of the plant,
I think, yeah,
and to know what people have gone through and what people are going through, mm-hmm. to make sure that this plant was available, that people went to jail, people's lives were turned upside down and often ruined, and that I think there is some obligation for all cannabis consumers to understand that. And if we can continue to tell that story in new and interesting ways, and I think the other part of that is what makes this industry, as somebody who's relatively new to it, like I'm only 2 years in now, mm-hmm. like, the thing that makes this industry so exciting and different than other industries is there are so many great stories. Right. Even just the guests you had on right before me, like, what an awesome story. Like, I want to know more. And I think people's stories and making sure that you're telling different kinds of stories as a publication means you have to go to different communities. You have to go talk to different people. And right. If you're not doing that, you're not telling the full story of cannabis.
Well, as much as Marijuana Matters can be a resource to make sure that you have access to be able to hear the different voices of cannabis, because there is a whole culture that is, you know, in some respects being stamped out because we're not in the regulated space. Mm. Not to say that we don't want to be in the regulated space. So if a different leaf is a home to be able to tell those stories, we welcome that opportunity.
I'm happy to.
Can you, right quick, show up another picture of Different Leaf? You guys, we are giving away a subscription to Different Leaf, and you'll get access to the 2 back issues as a result of our giveaway.
Right.
So make sure.
This is our piece about social equity. So we were doing some. Let me see if I can turn the page. So we're just getting some great folks here from.
Yeah, that's the husband and wife team, Bedroom Cannabis, right?
Yeah, Bedroom Cannabis. Yeah. And so, you know, one of the nice things is we work with, like I said, we work with talented photographers. So if we're going to write about you and we're going to take your picture, we're going to make you look like a star. So that's
Jason and Tamika, get ready, girl. Get ready, guys. Yeah, Thank you so much for coming on and talking to our audience about A Different Leaf. You guys, please follow A Different Leaf on Instagram. Sign up to be a part of that community, and make sure you comment, make sure you tag, and make sure you follow Marijuana Matters DC to be eligible to win this particular gift pack. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me join you tonight.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Right. Bye-bye. Guys, this is fun. I feel like I got my own TV show. It's probably the Rose talking, but you know, hey, look. Hey, people, I just want to give a quick shout out to folks. I really appreciate you guys coming in. Please, please, please tag your friends because it's a conversation. For me, Marijuana Matters was birth. Whew, just feels like, yeah. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for rolling with us. We have a few more people we're going to get on. I'm really excited about this next person. Got to make sure they're on. Joy Hollingsworth of the Hollingsworth Company, which is the THC company out of the state of Washington. They are a full-fledged cannabis company. They have both a THC brand and a CBD brand. And let me tell you about Aunt Jackie and that Elio's brand that they have around hemp-infused products, their lotions, their creams, their salves. I've used it. I know it's the truth, which is why I wanted to make sure that they're invited into the conversation. Oh yeah, Chanel, you can drink, baby. Yes, absolutely. You can smoke, you can drink, you can consume. Hey, it's a new game. COVID-19 changed up a lot of stuff. So let me get in Joy Hollingsworth because we are behind just by 5 minutes. But let me see. Here we go. Oh, she ain't here. Somebody call Joy and tell her to come on. Let me see. Can you invite? Let's see if I do add Joy Hollins. Y'all work with me. Hey, I'm old and it's late and I'm drinking rosé. Okay. So while we wait for Joy to get in, if anybody on my team can reach out to Joy Hollingsworth or Elio Wellness, tell them they are up. That's great, and we will bring them in. If not, we're going to go and speak to our next folks at 8:50. I just want to say how appreciative I am that you guys have joined in this conversation. If there is anything while we're waiting for Joy to join us that you guys want me to answer, I will. It's called Ask Me Anything. As long as you don't ask me about my blackness, don't ask me about my personal life, I will answer anything. Anything related to cannabis that I can help you with, then absolutely I will. Hey, Jasmine, we're going to give Joy just a few more minutes to see if she can come on. We're going to give her 2 minutes. If not, then we're definitely going to connect right into you because I'm trying to get into those teas because my life, my wellness life, my CBD wellness life is, I need some help. My team is saying for me to remind you guys in order to be able to win some stuff from the Green Panther Chef, then you have to comment, tag a friend, and make sure you follow Marijuana Matters DC. Okay? All right. So, I started this conversation about, kind of my own trying to understand how I'm going to live in a post-COVID-19 world. I got to tell you guys, I ain't forget her. I ain't forget Jasmine, but she's coming on at 9:50. We might bring her in just a little bit earlier. But so I've been trying to figure out how to deal with COVID-19 in my personal life, outside of the work stuff. In my personal life, I'm trying to figure out how long can I wear these sweatpants that I'm doing these Zoom calls, these dual calls, you name it. If it's got a video component to it, I'm doing it. How long, do you guys smoke before your meetings? I'm really interested to know. Do you, take a little gummy or something and then you just go on about your business? Or do you, you're saying she forgot. I see you front row. But, are you drinking wine on the video? What are y'all doing? How are y'all coping with these endless Zoom and digital meetings? At first it was cute because, you're at home, you can relax in your PJs, but we on like week 7 or 8, and I'm just really trying to figure out, am I going to fit into that nice suit I bought back in March? I don't know. I ain't going to try it on, though. I ain't confident yet. Anyhow. So you smoke at your meetings. I see you, girl. I ain't that brave yet because I might start coughing and shit. I don't know. Y'all don't shower? Wait a minute. Let me just tell you, my wife is like, go wash your ass. Anyway, let me bring on Jasmine with Green Panther Chef. Let me tell you. So I first learned about Jasmine off of Instagram. She was posting some really nice looking food And then I just really appreciated that there's this sister who was about her grind, and she was encompassing. You can't tag 420 mamas. You got to tag somebody else, sis, to be eligible for this win. These gift baskets. Don't play me. I'm watching. I'm paying attention. But I first met Jasmine because she had these really nice images of these foods. So one of the things that Marijuana Matters is big on is trying to figure out how we connect entrepreneurs to their customer base, right? And so last year we sponsored, she was doing this chef's table or this training menu sampling. So we basically we bought tickets to it and we gave it away to a couple of people. And we've been, connected ever since. And so if there's nothing else, we are definitely loyal. So Green Panther Chef and Jasmine, come on board. Let's have this conversation. Because, girl, look, I need to know if you got some frozen stuff you can bring my way. Jasmine, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. So good to see you, sis. Happy COVID-19.
I know, right? Happy COVID-19.
We're going to celebrate through this thing, honey.
I know. We're going to have to.
Yeah, how you been?
Good, hanging in there. I mean, surprisingly, I've been more busy now than pre. I mean, these Zoom meetings.
Yes, back to back, 15-minute breaks. Yes,
exactly.
Thank you so much for joining Marijuana Matters and letting me have this conversation with you. I don't know if you have your tea there, but if you do, go ahead and put them up because these are what we are giving away. And I was looking at your menu. I don't know if that's still available, but we might give away a dinner or two if that's possible.
So yeah, we are doing CBD meal delivery in the DMV area, and so that's still going on. Surprisingly so, people are still reaching out for parties, So I'm like, hey, we can't do anything beyond 10 people. But yeah, exactly. In the DMV area, for sure. We're still active. As far as I just wanted to actually put this up really quickly.
Yes.
I don't have our label on this right now, but this is how they're packaged.
Yeah.
I don't have them here. I'm actually inside of my house, so I don't have them.
Okay, let me just say, Jasmine got to it. I contacted these people at like 6 o'clock this morning. It's like, look, I want to go on live. I feel like I need to be connected to my community. Can we talk? And everybody said yes. So we're not going to, just because you don't have no label don't mean that you ain't about your life.
It's inside my house, actually, so I just had to put them on. But yeah, this is how they come. This is actually the green tea and hibiscus rose flower. Here, I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see it.
Amazing for like stress, immunity. I wanted to highlight this primarily because like what we're going through during this time, and so this is a great de-stressor and it's great for immunity as well and boosting immunity.
Yeah, and so we're giving away a 3-pack of those. So you guys make sure you comment, you tag, and you follow so you can get
a variety. It is variety. So this, we have the chamomile and then the black tea and peppermint.
Okay, I can speak to what you're showing now because I had that at Eden's.
Yeah. The
truth. So I appreciate you, and that can be shipped nationwide. But if we decide to give away foods, that's in the DMV. So just don't text me and DM me. I live in Atlanta and I can't. Look, you can get the thing. But if we raffle off the food, and I was looking at the menu, so I think I might give away an $80 meal. That's well worth it. I wish it could be me. But so
you better comment.
So comment, tag, and follow. So talk to us a little bit about. So I'm curious. Were you cannabis first or were you culinary first? Talk to us a little bit about how you get to this space.
So background, hey guys, I'm Chef Jazz. So I started in 2006. So I graduated from culinary school in 2006. And I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease the exact same year. So it was culinary and then cannabis. And it was really out of desperation that I found cannabis. I was down to like 84 pounds and on 5 medications. And so through just like my sheer willingness to win, I say, I really started to
find more information and be receptive to the information that was given to me. And that's 13 years later. I'm no longer on any of the medications. I know, super exciting. And it's strictly food and cannabis.
Right.
Yeah.
In spirit, I mean, your spirit is absolutely fabulous. And the way you show up in this work in particular, I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to teach and show up. Even when there is no dollar connected to it, I just want to say thank you for being that kind of person in this industry.
Absolutely. We need it.
Absolutely.
I don't want anyone to be in my position. I definitely tell you that. So it definitely is passion work. Hashtag passion work.
Hey. So we got 3 minutes and we're going to use all those 3 minutes. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know what's going to happen. Because Instagram do not want you to talk more than an hour. At 8:59, we're going to log off and then we're going to log right back on where Marcus is going to talk to Corey from Roland Bouquet. Do not miss that because this brother's doing some fabulous things. And we're going to do all of the announcements of who won the giveaways. But these last 3 minutes, Jasmine, I want to talk about the fact of what does it mean to be committed to be in this cannabis industry right now as a woman, as a person of color, as an entrepreneur. What can you give folks to inspire them? If this is the space that you want to be in, now is the time.
I really feel like right now we're making a separation. So I feel that I'm here to empower people. And that might be in the form of cooking with cannabis or using the resources that you have. But at this point, in this moment, we really have to build a community and be willing to give back, and not in lieu of a dollar.
Right.
And so community is super important in building that out. I just got an email earlier today and was like, I just love how much information you are just giving. And when outside opens again, quote unquote, I want to use your services, And so when you really put yourself in a position to empower other people, and that's a true leader to me, you're really putting other people in a position to win. And that's what it's all about.
Amen. I am confronted all the time. Khadija, you need to monetize your this. We need to look.
It comes. It definitely comes, but
if I win, I'm on an island by my goddamn self. I want all us to win. Because I need my tea, I need my juice, I need my papers, I need my meals, I need my flour, I need all of that. Right? And so we all need to win. And this is what, for me, that's why I was like, it's the end of 420. We weren't able to gather. We couldn't do our thing for 420. Let's figure out how we go out of this month with celebrating the beautiful connections that we're all making day to day. How can we inspire each other? How can we part some education? And how can we put some money in folks' pockets? Because I wanted people to know, I didn't ask you to do anything for free because you are a businesswoman. You have a product that is valuable, useful, and we're going to purchase it and we're going to give it away so that we can connect that. Is there anything else that you want to say to folks? I have 27 seconds before they cut us off. So we're coming back. So make sure you log back on at 9 o'clock. What do you want to say? 20 seconds.
Just stay home, be well, stay engaged, and take care. Follow us on greenpanthershop.com or Green Panther Shop. And thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely. And we're going to make sure that you guys have access to everybody's website. But listen,
Corey. Someone can. Okay, let's see if you join. Look it up on your profile so you can see. Hey people, everyone. Welcome back. Is that yep, there we go. Hello. Let's see, we're waiting for Corey to come in here.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, boss?
Not much.
Hey, how you living this COVID-19 era? How's treating over there? How's treating?
Not too bad. You know, I'm just trying to stay active and really just handle what's what I can control. Not really focus on anything else. You know. I like that shirt you got on.
Yeah, I got it. I use your product too. I like it. So like, give me one.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Always happy with your black folks. You gotta stay home. Mm-hmm. So we got a couple questions for you, Corey.
Okay.
Mr. Corey, he's the owner of Rolling Boutiques, right?
Founder of Bouquet.
I always say boutique. Bouquet, thank you. So many people will talk to us about being in the industry, always talk about growing and selling it. There are so many routes to be in the industry. What made you choose to go down the rolling one?
So honestly, I had to take a look at what was available to me and my situation, right? So I knew coming into just looking at it as a game, I knew coming into it that in order to have a dispensary, which is an ultimate goal for a lot of people, it requires a lot of connections, a lot of money. So really, I filtered. I knew I wanted to be in the game, and I filtered it through what was available to me. I knew that I love rolling. Papers was something that was that I do often, and I knew that I could, being able to move without having to deal with the legality of dealing with cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Like with papers, we can ship and we can promote and we can market everywhere, every state without any limitations. So once the name came, and it actually came while I was rolling one time. I was rolling and I was, like, oh shit, this is like a bouquet. Like I'm putting flowers and I'm putting them together. The name just hit me, and then from there I just ran with it, man. Just I was fortunate enough that I have some dope brothers and friends that really support and believe in the movement, and then it's just been growing and blowing up from there. I'm not
gonna lie. Like I said earlier, I have used your rolling. I gotta say they're big. I give you your props. Like they're really good. Like I honestly.
Yeah, we tell everybody, man. Like if it's not, let us know. Like we don't want no false. Like if it's whack, we ain't heard that yet. But somebody thinks that, definitely let us know. Like we want all the 100% feedback.
And I like it. Definitely, I like it. Mm-hmm. What's your advice to others who think cannabis is the industry for them?
You said is the industry for them?
No, I said what advice do you give people who want to join the industry as well? Think cannabis is their industry?
My advice to them is to just network as much as possible. Like you never know when somebody else may come back into your life and how that might play out. Like network, always give it 100%. And I feel like I relate everything to sports because I feel like that analogy is so easy to understand. Like in the game of basketball, right? If the ball is randomly rolling around, if you're always moving, if you're always hustling, the chance of you getting that loose ball is a lot higher than anybody else. So I take that same analogy, that concept, apply it to business, and it's the same thing with the cannabis industry. You know what I'm saying? If you're always networking, if you're always out, if you're always representing your brand 100%, like eventually something's gonna have to give, and you're gonna get your shot, and you're gonna be prepared, and you're gonna be ready for it. So
I agree with him on that point because I use the Kobe analogy versus Kobe a lot for a lot of business trips. When he says you miss 100% of the shots you do not take, and when I saw the video, I really sat there and thought, bro, all you can do is just do what you can do.
Yeah, that's all you can control. I mean, like I said, you never know how people come back.
That's what you got. Don't try to steer off to the right. Don't try to fade it. Just take the shot. Just take the shot that's right there for you. Mm-hmm. You make a lot of things difficult. You got a question? I know I'm asking a lot of questions.
I mean, I pretty much cover it all.
Yeah, but the shirt though, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all see this shirt feels.
What other merch do you have? Is the only shirt you have? You got different.
No, we got a couple of shirts designs. My sister designed a couple of shirts. Everything that we do is real family based, and a lot of our friends are involved with the company and all that stuff. So we got a couple of shirts out there. We obviously have to have the classic bouquet logo. Got that. We got some hats. We might be working on some face masks for the whole quarantine thing. You know what I'm saying? Represent. We'll definitely let you know if that drops. Sweaters, hoodies, all that. So,
he had
so do you have like a link or? Yes, actually, my man. Shout out to OGQJ. He's in the chat right now. He just dropped the link timely. Put it right down the bottom. RollingBK.com. Yeah, he got y'all hooked up.
Thank you. That's all we need. Thank you, Corey, for jumping in. I think we're like 3 minutes early, but if you want, you can stick around. We're doing the giveaways for the next 13 minutes.
Yeah, got some giveaways for you guys. Bouquet bats. I got some bats here for you guys. So shout out to whoever wins this. We got a shirt we're gonna be giving away for you guys. Same shirt you got on. Yeah, that Bouquet classic tee. So
it feels really nice. Like this is some really good quality shirt. Like, I'm sorry. All right, man, for that one, let me go through the live and see who actually commented. Oh, you're not gonna go for me. There we go. And the hats. So
yeah. So we got somebody there. They dropping.
They dropped a comment. We got comments in here.
Yeah.
I think I know. I think we got a couple people. There we go. All right, you ready? Yeah. Nice, you got it done. All right, so for our name for the first event we had for what's it, the cheese? I forgot the name. Oh, there we go. There's Tamika and Jason. West Reset Wellness. We have a teach for them. The winners are we have. I'm a botched name. Sorry, English is not my first name. The Nikki's underscore LENE Nikki NIKKI. You know, like ooh Nikki, like that. That Nikki. You want one, and then you send similar. We gonna DM y'all the winner. Y'all got some. Give your names though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know people with their names. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Let's see. And then for the next one after that, we had the one with Courtney. That one is Nikki Sneed. Nikki Sneed with a C. Then we have for the conversation with Different Leaf, we did Lit Love Journey. You're a part of that as well. And then for the last but not least, for the one that we did with Jasmine, 850 is BLT Emmons. That's for that one. And then we got to find. I'm gonna find one of y'all got to comment. You got to comment. Follow. I can't. He's gonna hold on to that stuff until I see one. He looks like he wants to give it away. Like he's like, I'm right here for you guys. Like just say, that's all I need. Just a comment. Please DM your contact, everything. I might have to give it to you, man. So BJ, no, you guys, BJ got enough content. I think found it. Courtney underscore Rose. You have won the boutique giveaway, and I think that's all for us right now. That's it. But thank you, Corey, for jumping in, and talking to us, letting us know everything that you do. Like I said, I really do appreciate everything you do. Like
I gotta answer GGTC question real quick. A bat is like a cone. So when you stuff a cone and you fill it with the flowers, it forms like a little bat. Take a hit, you get smacked. That's what a bat is. So it's the same thing, but we just call it a bat, a bouquet bat. Alliteration. Ain't no problem anyway.
I'm gonna write that down. There's some for good things. This bouquet bat, the Yacht King. I like that.
But no, I wanna say thank you to you guys too. You guys have been real supportive, real helpful. We appreciate the event you guys are doing. Like all the, I talk to my man all the time. Like the support is what really keeps us going. Like you never know when somebody else's support can give that extra gas for somebody else to keep going. So we appreciate you guys.
Of course, definitely. It's the same. Be true here. Like my mom said earlier, this is a family thing. Like we one and all. So we help one another. You help us, we help you.
100.
All right, thank you guys.
I'll see you.
All right, you guys. That's Wednesdays. Weed Crash Wednesdays. Like you always say, donate, subscribe. Look us up. Go to marijuanamatters.com. The link in the bio. Check out the website as well. And so just come by with us. Let's come by with you. Let me talk to you, give you the nitty gritty, show you people that we really want to help. That's it. Sign off.